what we out here to do, we out here to show y'all how we know that we are the children of Israel. That God's chosen people. You know, the children of Israel are the people that is written about in the Bible. That Jacob's 12 sons that spawned 12 nations of people, 12 tribes, alright? So how do we know we these people, alright? The thing we gotta do is we gotta connect ourselves back to God and His covenant that He made with these people, alright? Let me show you one thing, Psalm 9 and 16.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness.
So the things we finna go over is gonna be the words that Moses spoke to the Israelites. Alright, sister, come here. Sister, y'all listen up, come here. You too, come here. So, what we out here to do, we out here to show y'all how we know that we are the children of Israel. That God's chosen people. You know, the children of Israel are the people that is written about in the Bible. The whole Bible is about the nation of Israel. That Jacob's 12 sons that spawned 12 nations of people, 12 tribes, alright? So how do we know we these people, alright? The thing we gotta do is we gotta connect ourselves back to God and His covenant that He made with these people, alright? Let me show you one thing, Psalm 9 and 16. I'm gonna show you, God had gave these people laws, statutes, and commandments. Are you familiar with the Exodus? Moses going to Pharaoh and he told Pharaoh to do what?
I forgot, but he told me something.
Alright, the Israelites were in slavery in Egypt to the Egyptians. They had to build the pyramids and all those things that you see that's in Egypt today. And they were in slavery. So Moses was sent to the Egyptians. God told him, sent them to the Egyptians with a message to say, let my people go. You heard about Moses walking through the Red Sea with the Israelites, walking through the Red Sea on dry land and all that? Okay, and went to Sunday school and grew up like that, right? We in the South. Alright, so look, I'm gonna bring you into this understanding. Psalms 9 and 16.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 16. The Lord is known by the judgment which He executed.
Right, read it again, make it slow, so I want y'all to follow. Because I know you cold, so look, their attention span kind of cut right now. So read it slow so they can understand.
Psalms 9, verse 16. The Lord is known by the judgments which He executed.
So the Lord, meaning God, is known by how? His judgments. His judgment. That judgment is something you get when you do something wrong, right? So God said, God is known by the judgment which He puts on people when they do something wrong. So now, we got to figure out God's covenant and what type of judgments that God is actually doing on the earth today, all right? And we can know if He's dealing with you or somebody else, all right? Watch this. Go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 1 and 1, all right?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness.
So the things we finna go over are gonna be the words that Moses spoke to the Israelites. God told them, look, tell the Israelites this stuff. Give me Psalm 147, verse 19 to 20. Remember, God is known by the judgments that He executes. Listen to what the Bible says. King David has said this in the Psalms about God, right? Read this. Psalm 147, 19 and 20.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth His word unto Jacob.
So God showed His words to Jacob. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
His statutes and His judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and His judgments He gave to who? Israel. Read.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
God didn't deal so with any other nation. That means His statutes and His judgments He didn't give to any other nation besides who? Besides who?
Israel.
Besides Israel. So God is known by the judgment. God is known by the judgments that He executes. Remember that? So who's going to be seeing God's judgments? Israel. Now let's get to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
No, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. You gotta sit yourself right here. You wasn't doing nothing before. You gonna give me 5 minutes and you gonna learn your history. 2 minutes. 2 minutes to learn your history, all right? Look, so don't go nowhere. Right here.
I'm on feet.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan.
28-1. So listen, don't go nowhere because you finna learn who you really are, because you're not gonna learn this in no church, you're not gonna learn this in school. They're not gonna teach you who black people really are. Black is not a nationality, it is not a real name. You need to know who you really are, alright? And it's important. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep, to observe, and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So God promised the Israelites if they listened and did the commandments, they would be put on high above all the nations of the earth, meaning better than everybody on earth. But did God's people like to listen to him, or did they like to disobey? All the time. Because black people are what? Hard-headed as hell. Deuteronomy 28 verse 16. They're going to see the flip side of what God told his people. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto
you will not listen, hearken, stay here to learn, read.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now, God is telling them, if you don't listen and do the commandments, curses will come upon this group of people, meaning judgments for not doing his laws. So now let's read some of the judgments that God gave to his people, that put on his people. Let me tell you something, all right? Black people. No. What way did our ancestors come to this land? Oh, how? Brother, tell me again. Do you agree with that's the way our people came to this land? By slave ship. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's a bad thing that happened to you. To be put on the bottom of a boat for 3 months all the way across the sea. Like a piece of equipment or something like that. To be up under a boat and have to be sailed like this. As a matter of fact, come here. Look at this picture that you're trying to run. That was you. That was you, your girlfriend, your little brother, your little sisters right here. Cargo. That's your feet, and you laying down on a board with another board on top of you, with people on top of you. That's how our ancestors came here. And you said yourself, that's a bad thing, right? Let's see, why did that happen? Why did that only happen to our people? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. These are the things that God is speaking to the children of Israel. Remember, listen.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And it shall come to, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So now the Israelites were once in Egypt under the Egyptians as slaves. With building what? Brick, mortar, all this stuff right there. Pyramids, all this stuff for the Egyptians. Called the slavery. Now, God said it. I sent Moses to rescue you, but if you don't listen to me, this is going to happen again. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He said, I'm going to take you back to Egypt. This is after they have already walked through the Red Sea, have been freed, and Moses had brought them the commandments. He said, if you don't listen, I'm going to take you to Egypt again. Now, let's say for instance, you've been in prison. That jail is right over there, 200 over there on, what's the name? The jail right over there by the school board thing. The woman's jail. Say you've been there for 3 years, and you just got out, and I tell you, if you mess up again, you got to go back over there. You got to go to whatever the address is to that place again. It's 200 something, I forgot. I ain't got to tell you that this prison, you already know what I'm talking about, right? If I say 200 West, whatever avenue, you're like, oh, I've been there 3 years, I know this jail. If you've been in Egypt for 400 years as a slave, and I say I'm going to take you back there, what does that mean to you? Right back to slavery. So what does Egypt mean? Let's see.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. Read. And I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
God said Egypt is the house of bondage. You know what bondage is? You see these chains around our people's neck right here? Look at this. Being on that boat with chains, that's bondage. That's bondage. The house of bondage is what Egypt means. Bondage. Now, that's a bad thing. That was not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Read. Go back to Deuteronomy 28, 68. Look, sis, listen, with the fro. Come on, back over here. Cause I need to make sure your attention span is right, because you're trying to run off. You need to listen.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right back to bondage again. But how's the Lord telling the children of Israel they're going to go back into bondage again for not breaking his commandments? For not keeping his commandments. Read.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Hold on, wait a minute. Did you catch that, my brother? Did you catch that? Look, sis, you didn't catch that because you're not listening. God told the Israelites they were going to go back into bondage again, but how? Read it again from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
How did our ancestors come here? How did our ancestors come to this land? Do you agree? Our ancestors came to this land with ships. God is talking to the Israelites and telling them they were going to go into bondage, meaning slavery again, with what?
With ships.
Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Name me another country or another group of people that went into slavery by way of slave ships. Where? Name me what other nation of people went into slavery by way of slave ships? It ain't one, but you, but your nation. But guess what? Guess when you read the Bible, God said that would happen to who? The children of Israel. Hey, wait, look, what did we read earlier? No other nation have known his judgments. We read that earlier. Read Psalm 147, 19 and 20 again. No other nation on earth knows God's judgments but the children of Israel.
The book of Psalms, the 147, verse 19. He showed this word unto Jacob.
So this Bible, his word is shown unto Jacob. Read.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and his judgments are shown and given to Israel.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He ain't dealt so with no other nation. But the children of Israel like that. Like that. And God is known by the judgments which he executes. So what judgment was executed upon the children of Israel we just now read that just so happened to happen to our ancestors? Who else went into slavery by slave ships? Huh? Why was that? Why did it happen to us? Okay, why did it happen? Out of all the people in the world, why did it happen to us? That's a great question. And they trying to run again. But look, since you listening, out of all the people in the world, why did it happen to us? Give me just verse 47. Deuteronomy 28 and 46, matter of fact, starting 45.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee.
So the curses that God said would happen for disobeying the commandments will pursue them and overtake you. Why?
Till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Why you ask me a question? Why did it happen? Out of all the nations of people, why it happened to us? Read that part again.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
That's why. Our ancestors did not listen to the voice of God, did not keep the commandments which he gave to them by the hand of Moses. Read.
To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign.
And now the curses gonna be upon the children of Israel for a sign. What's the name of that store over there? And I know that because I can look at Walker Street grocery sign. I know the sign of the street that we on, Henry and Walker, because the sign. I know the children of Israel because the sign of slavery by way of slave ship is on them. And only the children of Israel have reaped that judgment.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is